Hello again, everyone. Today I am here to swatch some sort of random fountain pen inks. Basically, these were inks that I've had for a little while, and for some reason I just never swatched them. Some are newer than others, but I figured since I have to swatch these, and there's 4 of them, I would go ahead and swatch them on the channel. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have my regular swatch book where I swatch all of my fountain pen inks. I'm going to put a link below to the video where I go through this setup. All of the links to tools I use will be in that description box for that video, and including the automatic pen, which I get a lot of questions about. And it is a size 3A, just in case you wanted to know. And then I have my glass pen here, and I have my beautiful little glass pen stand that I got from Papier Plume, and the inks. So I have TWSBI Midnight Blue. So I have put this into my special edition TWSBI Golden Horse fountain pen on the channel, but I never did swatch it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is Rohrer Klingner Verdigris, which is a beautiful sort of dark teal color. And then this little tiny bottle here is Colorverse Quasar. And then I have this Monteverde Cherry Danish, which, given my experience with these types of bottles before, I tested the top to make sure that I could open it before we started, and I was able to open it. So I had another video where I couldn't open the ink, so didn't want that to happen again. All right, so I've gone ahead and set a page aside. Basically, this is a page where I had 4 empty spots, and it'll kind of fill up. I don't know why I had 1 empty page in here. You'll see a little bit of bleed through from the ink on the prior page, but because I'm going to be doing the main swatches on this side, it shouldn't interfere. So let's go ahead and put these off to the side. And I do have a glass of water off camera here, and I also have a paper towel to wipe my tools off between inks. And let's go ahead and get started with the TWSBI ink. So like I said, this is Midnight Blue, which is actually a really beautiful dark blue color. I'm a really big fan of it, actually. Let me see, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see those a little better. Okay. And this is a very pigmented blue. Trying not to dip my automatic pen too far in there because I don't want to get ink all over the handle, which does happen sometimes. And when we get to that smaller bottle of Quasar ink, I'm going to have to figure out how to get the ink out of there because I don't think the opening is big enough for my automatic pen. I have a little dropper off to the side, so I might try to kind of dropper it into the automatic pen and see if that works. It'll be an experiment. That is actually one of my issues with that little bottle, is it's kind of hard to use because not much will fit in the opening of that tiny little bottle. All right, but for now, we're still on this TWSBI ink. So here we go. And this is TWSBI Midnight Blue. I would say that this is probably my favorite of the TWSBI inks I have tried. Most of the other ones I have are quite a bit brighter than this, and I think this is a little more subdued, like I prefer in inks, I think. I prefer them subdued, but special, if that makes sense at all. Okay, I'm gonna put that off to the side. Let's go ahead and do the Rohrer Klingner Verdigris. I'm gonna put that upside down. And you can see, opening the bottle, it's just a lovely, lovely dark teal color. Whoa. Very beautiful. Get the glass dip pen for that one. I'm trying to wipe off the excess ink because I have had issues with the ink coming off in kind of big blobs. So again, this is Rohrer and Klingner. Okay. Forgot the N there at the end. And this is Verdigris. Or Verdigris, however you'd like to say it. All right, so let's get to this more difficult one here. Let me actually confirm. Yeah, it pretty much will not fit in there. So let me go ahead and get my little dropper that I have. This is a dropper that came with an Opus 88. So I'm gonna see if I can just get a small amount there. You can see I just have a little bit down in the bottom of it. And then I'm gonna try and just dropper. Okay, let's see if that works. Put this off to the side so it doesn't spill. Yeah. Let's see, it doesn't seem to be going down into the, oh, there we go. Excellent. Well, that wasn't too hard. Whoa, that is a bright ink. Actually worked really well. Let me go ahead and put this little bit extra that I have down in there. There wasn't a whole lot extra. And then I'm gonna rinse off my dropper in the water I have over here because I don't want that to stain my dropper. Because that seems like an ink that would definitely stain the dropper. And now I'm gonna see if I can actually fit tip of, oh, the glass dip pen just fits. Excellent. So it just fits down into that little hole. Okay. So this Colorverse Quasar. And I actually have not put this in any pens, partially because I didn't necessarily want to deal with that small opening. This is one of the only inks that comes in a very small bottle like this. So this, I think, is 5 milliliters, which is actually more than it seems, but it's still a pretty small bottle. I almost wonder if I should have put that in the sample section because that is such a small sample. You know what? I never know how this happens. Like, what's pink? I don't even know. All right, so let's get to this last one, which is this Cherry Danish by Monteverde. I've kind of had a lovely color from the cap. I've kind of had an interesting experience with Monteverde inks. Some of them flow well and some of them just don't, which is a little unfortunate. But we'll see. This one, as far as on the glass dip pen, or on the, not the glass dip pen, this automatic pen seems to work fine. And sometimes it's kind of an indicator if it gets stuck in the automatic pen. Sometimes it's an indicator that it'll actually not flow well in your fountain pen. But it seemed to flow fine off of here. Okay. There we go. And then with the glass dip pen, it's actually a very beautiful red. Monteverde Cherry Danish. Yeah, I might have to try this in something and see. This is a bottle that I had gotten for free from Goulet Pens with an order. And I'd actually been considering just passing on the free bottles of ink from Monteverde just because they're not so consistent. But we'll see. Oh, it's a very staining. It's very staining. There's still, I don't know if you can tell that, but there's still some red up in the little tines of the glass dip pen. I don't know if you can call them tines. Grooves. Okay. Was able to get them a little cleaner this time. I'm gonna close up my water and close up this ink. And then I will show you these closer up. It's kind of interesting that this actually, so over here I have Mont Blanc James Purdy & Sons single malt ink, and it's similar. I would say it's a little darker for sure, but it's along the same lines. Let's see how it compares to Urushi Red. Oh, and I just stuck my finger right in that sample. So this one is Urushi Red by oops, sorry, you can't see that. This one is Urushi Red by Franklin Christoph. And then this one is the Monteverde Cherry Danish. They're very similar too, but again, they're still different. They're not exactly the same. Okay, make sure I get that ink off my fingers so I don't get it everywhere. I've already gotten some ink on this leather mat. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see as I put it closer to the camera. And they're not entirely dry yet, but you can see both wet and dry here. So this is TWSBI Midnight Blue. It has quite a bit of sheen on it. I would say that the sheen is like reddish purple. Maybe it just looks purple because the ink is blue, but it's really, really pretty. And this is the Fair Degree by Rohrer Klingner. And this is actually the ink that I currently have in my Lamy Petrol Safari, which is an old special edition that's no longer available, but it's definitely this color, and I was really happy when I found this ink because it matches very well to the color of the pen. And then here we have the Colorverse Quasar. I think I put down a little bit of excess ink here just because I had droppered it into the automatic pen, and I think it kind of, maybe I droppered a little too much. So it's a little wet. It'll probably take a little while to dry, but you can see in that middle part, it's pretty much dry. Looks like it has a little bit of sheen, but not a whole lot. Especially in the writing. The writing's all dry, and you can tell there's not really any sheen. And then this one's almost dry, this Monteverde Cherry Danish. It's kind of nice. It has some shading and some color variation. All right. Well, there you go. That's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.